What's up, everybody? The Guardian here, and I'm bringing you just a last little final game. I want to know if you guys are ready for Black Ops 2. It looks like I'm ready. As you can see, I've completed every Call of Duty game up until this point except for Call of Duty 3. I heard that game wasn't the best. I'm still planning on possibly picking that one up and running through it and seeing what I think. You know, maybe the multiplayer was just bad. I really enjoyed Call of Duty 2, more or less going through the history aspect of it. Some of those levels on Veteran were really frustrating. But now on to Call of Duty 4. You just saw a moment ago that the first challenges I finished on this game were in November of 2008, which was right before World at War released. And Call of Duty got me started with Call of Duty 4. Took me a while to get used to it, and I really wasn't ready to move on to World at War. So we played a lot of COD 4. Eventually made my Gold Cross, full prestige, and you also saw that I got the Mile High Club achievement. That's finishing that last mission, or it's not even a mission, it's like an extra challenge, I think, on Veteran, and you have to run through a plane, kill a bunch of guys in a certain amount of time. It is not fun. That was definitely the toughest for me. As for Modern Warfare 2, most of the game was relatively easy, relatively. And then the hardest thing, I think, for me were the Spec Op missions. Eventually, I had Clyde Daddy help me out with, I think, 2 or 3 of them. Some of them required a teammate anyways, but the toughest ones were definitely the Juggernaut ones. I think I did 2 with him and 1 on my own, and the Juggernaut missions were they were brutal because those guys do not go down, and on Veteran, they take you out quick, so you got to make sure you fight them one-on-one for the most part, and you got to be pretty quick and pretty smart about it. Moving on to Modern Warfare 3, as you can see, it looks like I played through these in January. I had a bunch of free time during that break. I was working, but anyways, right after Christmas I had some free time, and Call of Duty was probably busy. Who knows what he was doing, but since I'm not going to be on playing multiplayer by myself, I went ahead and finished these out. Once I got started, as you can see in the following weeks, I was pretty much hooked and wanted to go ahead and finish out the campaign, get all the intel, finish the rest of the achievements. I don't remember anything being too overly difficult for Modern Warfare 3. Oh, one of the tougher ones was this last one here, I think, Arms Dealer. Buy every weapon in the survival mode. You just got to make sure you buy them in order. If you don't buy them in order, then you'll never know which one you skipped. And I finally figured that out. It was like the MP5K. One of the guns you spawn with was one that I had never actually purchased itself. Moving on to World at War. Actually, we're most of the way through World at War. It wasn't too bad going through it. It was a typical veteran campaign, except for the last 1 or 2 missions. Maybe just the last mission. It was really long and maybe broken up. But it was difficult, and I spent a couple days where I would just, back out. Not back out, but end the game and come back at a later time and try and get to another checkpoint. Eventually, I got it finished. And finally, this last achievement was a competitive co-op match. This guy was boosting or cheating with like a ray gun in a competitive co-op, and I still got more points than he did, which I thought was hilarious. Anyways, going on to Black Ops. As you can see, most of these, I didn't start hardly any of these challenges of the actual campaign until just a few weeks ago. I started it early on, probably, who knows when, months ago, but I didn't finish on because I felt like the campaign was too difficult on Veteran, and eventually I got back into it and realized it's really not that difficult. You just got to get used to knowing what you're doing and where you're going. I think the hardest challenge for me, achievement on Black Ops, was definitely the Collector achievement. You pretty much have to purchase every weapon off of the walls in a zombie game inside of one level. So you got, just a few minutes to do it. You have to have about 13,000 points. Most of the doors have to be open because you got to get to each gun. Otherwise, if the doors aren't open, you need more than 13,000 points. And then you got to make sure your teammates don't finish around while you're in the middle of it. So that was probably the toughest. It was a lot of fun completing them. It was definitely challenging. And I'm looking forward to Black Ops 2. Hope you guys are as well. And we'll see you in the game.